What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. All my social media is in the description box. So this is Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 8, Episode 8. So look, two major things are going down in this episode. We're gonna have the cabin trip, and then we got Moniece, Akbar, and Tokyo. So let's do one, and then let's get to the other. Excuse me. So the episode starts off with everybody getting together to get ready to go on this little cabin trip. And we have Jock and his girlfriend. Of course, Rashid and Kirk, they plan the trip. BK and Sierra. And Carly is a no-show, right? Because they're like, okay, well, Carly, we know Carly kind of going through some stuff, so maybe she not coming. Carly shows up. Excuse me, I had to turn her. Whew. Carly shows up with Shakana. Because she said until she figure out what's really going on with Akbar and this baby mama situation, then their situation is dead. My thing is, the way she even said that, she was like, well, as far as I'm concerned, the engagement is off and it's over, at least until I figure out what's going on between him and this baby. You don't get to dictate that. Like, you gotta have a conversation with somebody to figure out what's going on with something. And you won't even talk to this man. So you don't get to decide when the engagement is off and when the engagement is on based on what you want. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so that's how that went down. So Rashida was like, well, at first we were gonna do, guys in one bus, girls in the other bus, but now that we kind of off on our numbers, now that we got Shakana here as a +1, excuse me, y'all. Now that we got Shakana here as a +1, it's kind of like, well, but Bam was like, look, and Scrappy and Bam. Bam was like, look, I ride with my man because since the baby done got here, we ain't really had a whole lot of alone time, so I'm soaking this whole weekend up, and I ain't mad at you, boo. So the ladies are on the bus. Well, I'll start with the guys first. The guys are speculating on what went down with Arkansas Mo, and everybody picked up a different situation. Kurt was like, well, I thought he had a baby situation. I guess you would, Kurt. And Scrap was like, well, I thought he had a jail situation. But Jock was like, all the man said was he had some business to take care of. I'm with Jock. I'm like, y'all really projecting y'all own shit on that man. All that man said was one thing: I got some business to take care of. Now he said it, that lets you know it's some serious situation. But I probably would have jumped to the conclusion that it was a legal situation before a child situation. But okay, like I said, I feel like Jock said they were projecting. I feel like they were. But that was what was going on the guy's side. Now on the girl's side, it was a little messier. The girl's side, it comes out, and all of this was coming from Carly. And you know what? Somebody said it, I want to say it was BK, said it later on, that misery loves company. And that's exactly what this some shit is. It's some misery. Carly is a miserable. And misery does love company. And Carly said, she asked, well, how long you and Jock been together? And she said, well, me and Jock been together for like 2 years. Carly was like, you mean off and on for 2 years? She was like, no, it's been pretty steady. And he was like, she said, well, you sure? Because, last year, me and Jock were, we went on a cabin trip last year, and, we were in the room, and, he was trying to get with me. He pulled his genitals out, and he was trying to get with me. I wouldn't sleep with him, but he was definitely trying to get with me, and, that was just last year. Now, here's my problem with Kendra. Jock told you that there was some overlap. And I feel like he got you prepared for that moment. And what your response was supposed to be, what you were supposed to say was, oh yeah, I know. And that would have deaded that whole thing. I'm mad at you, Kendra, because you let Carly get in your head and you let Carly take control of that situation. Jock told you now, he beat around the bush with it, but he gave you enough information to let you know that there was some overlap. And you should have just been like, okay, cool. And you knew it was overlap with Carly. So you shouldn't even... I'm mad at you, Kendra, for jumping to that bait. But anyway, then we get to the whole BK Sierra thing. And here goes Carly again talking about, oh, well, Pooh told me that when y'all went on y'all Cancun trip, her and BK flirted. And BK Something went down between the two of them. And then she proceeds to show text messages. Now, again, I'm mad at you, Sierra, because again, immediately what you should have said was, if you were my friend, why you been sitting on this for 6 months? Like, you've had this for 6 months, and now you got something to say, and the only reason why you saying something now because you mad, because you miserable, because you and your boo ain't getting along. See, I'm mad at the women in that situation for even letting Carly have that. But okay, so of course, what did they do? They both got mad at the significant other instead of mad at Carly. So we get to the cabin, and they got the rooms and all that other stuff. It's a nice cabin, of course. It's a really nice Airbnb that Mona done rented for everybody, and it's real pretty. And they doing the rooms or whatever, and they come back together to do a little exercise or what have you. And again, never let them see you sweat. See, these women, y'all in the room. Y'all, everybody went to their own room. They were in the room. Kendra is going to say, Jock, I need to talk to you. Because I think Carly done said something to set some shit off. Because Carly was being a bitch, okay? And so then Kendra going to say, well, Jock, I need to talk to you for a minute. Y'all was already in the room. Why didn't you say what you had to say to him in the room? Now all of a sudden you want to pull him away from everybody to go have a conversation that you should have had in the beginning. Because she was like, well, I don't want, when they were in the room the first time, she didn't want to say nothing then. That was the time to say something because you're giving Carly what she wants. Carly is pissed off and she wants everybody to be miserable with her. Then Sierra gonna pull BK to the side. Again, I say, y'all were in the room. Talk to him there. You gonna pull him aside into the kitchen. Ain't no privacy in that kitchen. It's an open air plan. There's no door to the kitchen. There's no alcove to the kitchen. So you pulling him in the kitchen, you might as well stayed in the living room and had the conversation. So she brings up the whole situation with Pooh, and BK is like, what? He said, who told you that? Carly. He was like, Carly? And his thing was, Carly started all this shit to begin with last week. Last year, all this shit happened with Carly, and now we back to listening to Carly? Like, really, Sierra? And I feel how he feel. Like, I'm with him. I'm with you, BK. And, of course, BK tries to plead his case. Sierra ain't trying to hear none of it. She get to throwing drinks and hitting him in the face, which he was like, you doing too much. And I agree, because I'm tired of these women feeling like they can just put their hands on these men, and these men ain't supposed to respond. You don't get to do that. You don't get to just put your hand wherever you want to put your hand, and don't nobody have nothing to say, no response to it, but okay. Then, so anyway, that was that, y'all. So that was that. Nothing was resolved that night. Poor BK slept on the damn couch. The next day, they get up and they have a breakfast, whatever. So they go around the room and they do what do you like? What do you love the most? What do you dislike the most? And it was a cute activity. And it got around to BK, and BK was like, I love you. No, I'm sorry. It was Jock. And Jock was talking about what he loved about her. He was like, I just feel like you a superwoman. I seen you in the courtroom, and I see how you just able to do what you do and how skilled you are at it and how you defend your clients. And, he was like, so for real, it's really nothing that I dislike because I love you so much, and it's what I love about you. I love so much that what I dislike ain't even that serious. And I was just like, Scrap was like, see, I was going to say that. I was going to say that too, but but it was sweet. It really was sweet, And, of course, Carly rolling her eyes and being extra, just being real extra. So, I'm going to get back to them. All right, so back in the A, because, they up in the mountains somewhere. Back in the A, Moniece is in the studio waiting for Akbar again. Here's my problem with you, Akbar. I got a couple of problems with you this episode, but the first problem I have is we understand that you have a medical situation. I think the problem is your communication of your medical situation. I don't think you have truly shared with Moniece how serious, like what you told Sierra last week about the fact that you still have bullet fragments in your head and it creates an ongoing situation with migraines. I haven't seen where you've shared that with Moniece. I think you're just telling Moniece that you have migraines, you have headaches. To the average person that doesn't understand how deep that goes with your medical situation, it just comes off as an excuse. And then when you show up, your attitude is, well, I'm here now, what's the big deal? But like Moniece said, because time is money and I'm paying for this and it's my money. And I feel like you owe me a little bit more respect. She's like, well, I'm here now. You know, when I show up, I'm ready to work. But that's not the point. If I book a studio for 4 hours and I waste 2 of it waiting on you, it doesn't matter whether you're ready to work or not. I've still wasted 2 hours of my money. And so Moniece was like, look, basically the situation. So she was like, what's this really about? Because this can't be about me. No, it's about you. Like, and Moniece even said it. She was like, yeah, I'm mad about the whole Scrap situation. But no, that ain't even it. Like, I really am mad about this. No, you mad about Scrap. I can't believe you still letting Scrap getting you up. No. Again, this ain't about Scrap. This is about you. This all about you. And again, her attitude was so nonchalant. And she was, and Moniece was like, look, this is not going to work. Like, thank you. I appreciate it. This is not going to work. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm go ahead and take it on back to the West Coast. But I am gonna do some work with Tokyo Vanity while I'm here. Oh, what she say that for? Akbar lost her shit. She starts talking about something. Oh, so you can't work with me, but you gonna work with that bitch? And who the fuck she? And she coming, and then she talking about something because she coming to my town and don't even talk to the queen. Who made you the queen? Now I don't live in Atlanta, so I don't understand local artists. I don't know who the local artists are in Atlanta. I know that Akbar is a local artist in Atlanta, but who made you the gatekeeper? Who said Tokyo? First of all, Tokyo Vanity personality ain't that. But even if it was, who put you in charge of the girls? Are you in charge of the girls? Who put you in charge of the girls? And so Akbar was like, oh, so, well, fuck that. You and her, y'all kiss my ass because I grew here, y'all flew here. And she goes off. And it's funny because Moniece is just sitting there smiling and laughing at her like, this bitch crazy. Now, when Moniece is giving you the crazy look, that lets you know right there. When Moniece give you the crazy look, you crazy. So back to the cabin. We're going to get back to Miss Akbar in a minute. Back to the cabin. Kendra done pulled Jock out the room because they were doing the little, Carly started doing a sex toy demonstration. And once again, this time Kurt started being messy. Talking about, well, I want to see, because Carly was like, well, I'm studying to be a sex expert and this, that, and the other. And of course, she's got her little toy line or whatever. And Kurt gonna say, well, I want to see that move you got, Jock. What's that move that you was talking about Carly does when you was on the radio? And Jock was like, Kurt, for real? Like, for real, Kurt? And I said the same thing. I'm like, for real, Kurt, you being messy. You being messy as shit. Like, stop. You know what I mean? It'd be different if Jock wasn't there. I mean, if Kendra wasn't there and you was just messing with Jock and Carly. But his girlfriend is there. And you know what he's trying to do with that relationship. Because I think Jock is sincere. I really do. Especially since we found out that he got a tattoo on his genital of Kendra's name. So, if that ain't dedication, I don't know what is. If that ain't serious dedication, I don't know what is. So, he was like, he said, I'm sorry, him and Kendra were talking, and he said that to Kendra. He was like, look, if she ain't seen your name on my penis, then she ain't seen my penis in the last, year or whatever, because it was there, wasn't it? When did I get it tattooed? When did it? And, and I guess when you got proof like that, I guess it ain't a whole lot to say. And they ended up working it out or whatever. But later on, we see where Bambi pulls her aside. And Bambi was like, look, Jock is family, but women got to stick together. And she was like, what's really good? And, she let Bambi know what the deal was and what Carly said or whatever. And she was like, look, let me say this to you. Don't let no other bitch tell you about your man. And that's why I said I got mad at Kendra, because Jock gave you the ammunition. Jock he gave you what you needed so that Carly wouldn't have a leg up on you. But you played into it. Either you didn't remember or whatever, but you played into that bullshit. So... But Bam gave you some good shit. Bam was like, look, you got to set your boundaries. She was like, when me and Scrap went through what we went through, I had to just totally remove myself from him. She said, and I'm not telling you to do what I did. But what I'm saying is you got to figure out what your line in the sand is, and you got to set your boundaries, because the way you start is the way it's going to continue to be. And if you don't let him know now what you will and what you won't put up with, the line is going to keep getting moved. I said, I know you better tell him, Bam. Bam need to be the relationship expert. She should have ran this goddamn retreat, because Rashida and Kurt, they look like they done fucked up relationships. But anyway, It wasn't their fault. It really was. It really wasn't their fault. Carly showed up on that bullshit. But, you know, but for real, he really did. What Bambi said was she really gave her some good stuff. And, you know, she was like, "You're right." She said, "You know, I'm not gonna ruin our trip. I really want to enjoy this trip. But when we get back, we definitely gonna have to finish fleshing this out." But again, I disagree. I feel like it's been fleshed out. Anyway, back to Akbar, because we'll go back and forth. So back to Akbar. We see her visiting her mother's grave. Come to find out, her mom was a drug addict, and she said she had never come to visit her mother's grave because she hadn't forgiven her mother. A friend of hers, he showed up. She said he's her man. I don't know, man, like if she meant like her man, like her dude, like one of her boys, or like man, like relationship man. I don't know. But, you know, and again, he gave her some good advice too. He was like, "Look, you still here. You'll see your mother again. She gave you what you needed. She might not have been perfect, but she gave you what you needed. You know, it is what it is." And then he told, his name was Prophet, and then he told her about a showcase that was coming up by a DJ, Bankhead. And at first, you know, Akbar was like, "Man, he don't fuck with me. I ain't going to that. He don't fuck with me." And again, I feel like she was on that bullshit. I feel like she was on that because she was like, "Well, you know, she said, 'Well, who on the roster?'" He was like, "I don't know, but it don't matter. He's doing a showcase for female rappers. You a female rapper. Fuck whoever else is on there. He said, you got to show him love." He was like, "You only fuck with people that show you love. Well, so does he. And if you ain't showing him no love, he ain't showing you no love." And then she said, "Well, he's like the gatekeeper. He's the biggest DJ in Atlanta. So again, he ain't the one you need to be pissing off. If anything, I'm not saying you got to kiss his ass, but if he's holding the keys and you trying to get into the kingdom, that's who you need to be nice to. And if he's having showcases, that's who, you know, I don't understand these artists who feel like they don't have to pay their dues. Like, at the end of the day, in any situation, is always somebody on top and somebody on the bottom. If you trying to get in, you going to have to humble yourself. I ain't saying you got to kiss ass. I'm not saying you have to degrade yourself, but you do have to humble yourself. And you could be the best artist in the world, the best rapper, have the best lyrics or whatever, but if you can't get your shit played on the radio locally and you can't break through no doors that way, then you're going to have to do what you got to do. And that's what he was trying to tell her. Like, all that sound good, but at the end of the day, you need him more than he needs you. So what you going to do? All right, I'll do it. But, you know, I don't fuck with these other bitches. I'm going to have to let them know. Who you letting know? So, anyway. So we'll get to that, but she said that same shit again about the queen, and I'm the queen, and I'm this and I'm that. No, you're clearly not. If nobody else recognizes that you the queen, then what you the queen of? The queen of your apartment in Buckhead, that you keep telling everybody you got? What you the queen of, boo? So then we see Moniece meet up with Tokyo Vanity. And basically Moniece is telling Tokyo, "Look, I'm about to head on back to New York." Like, because Tokyo was like, "I'm doing the showcase." So you already know what that's the setup, that they're going to be at the showcase together. But, you know, Moniece is like letting her know, "Look, shit didn't work out with me and Scrap. I'm heading back home to regroup. You know, shit ain't really work out with me and Akbar." But, you know, then she got an attitude when I told her that I was going to work with you. And, you know, Tokyo was like, "For what? What'd I do to her?" Well, I mean, she talking about something, she grew here, we flew here. Tokyo was like, "Look, these motherfuckers, Atlanta is the place, it's popping right now." She said, "There's people here from everywhere." She said Afghanistan, Paris, Jamaica. And she's right. I mean, and that's in every industry. For a while, Atlanta has been a spot, you know, and people have gravitated to Atlanta. Whether you're in movies, whether you're in TV, whether you're in music. And so, like, it is what it is. And you know, don't be mad at Tokyo. She came into your city and took over. Be mad at the fact of why you ain't take over in your own city. And of course, Tokyo was like, what she eat don't make me shit. So I don't know what her issue is with me, but I ain't about to kiss nobody ass either. You know, it ain't that serious. And I was like, it's about to be a problem, because that's a fight. Ooh. 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 All right, so back to the cabin. Akbar, not Akbar. See, I'm talking about Akbar. Mo shows up at the cabin, right? Shekinah funny. Let me tell you something about Shekinah. Shekinah loyal as shit. Arkansas Mo, he showed up at the cabin. Shekinah opened the door, and she talking about some, "Hey, what you doing here?" He was like, "I'm here to see Carly." can I come in? She said, oh, baby, hold on. Carly, your man here. Do you want me to let him in? I said, I know that's right, Shakana. You better be the gatekeeper. But he done bought her some Louis Vuitton. You know, men think that always going to go over. Now, I peeped it, Carly. You kept the bag. You ain't giving the bag back. But they go outside to talk. And, Carly's still on that bullshit. He's basically trying to explain to her why he did what he did. And, she was like, well, you cheated on me and you this and you that. He was like, I didn't cheat on you. Like, that happened before us. Well, you keep it secrets. You having conversations with other women. That's cheating. He was like, well, I mean, if that's your definition, then okay, yeah. He said, but I wanted to make sure the situation was what it was before I brought it to you. I didn't want to bring you no bullshit. I don't want to bring you no shit. Like, I was trying, he was like, so if you're right. I was wrong for not discussing it with you and not letting you know what was going on. But my reasoning was, my intentions were pure. Maybe my delivery was fucked up. So then Carly starts going off about, I'm tired of men cheating on me. I'm tired of men telling me what to do, when I can eat, when I can do this, when I can do that. He was like, what? I mean, Carly started going way here. Akbar was like, look, I'm sorry that I kept this from you. But all the rest of that you talking about, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have nothing to do with none of that. Our situation is, and I'm sorry for it. And Carly just kept going off and, and he was like, well, look, I mean, what we gonna do? And she was like, look, just leave. Just, we over. It's done. It's over. It's done. He was like, you know what? You're right. And he walked away. I said, Carly, you about to fuck around and let a good one go because I feel like he understands and he wants to put up with Carly and he loves Carly. And I feel like he even understands her crazy a little bit. But Carly is really on one. Like, she really is on one. So last but not least, we get to see them really having like a moment of truth type situation. And Rashida, which they already told us in the promos, but Rashida admitted that, things between her and Kirk ain't all been on Kirk's end. That she's been, she hasn't been faithful to Kurt in the past, and that it was years ago, it was early on in their relationship, but she is not innocent, and they both had to work through it, and she said, I had to learn forgiveness, and, she told Bam and Scrap, a child she said, our kids brought distance between the two of us, so y'all work on that, and y'all make sure that y'all keep y'all stuff tight, because it's easy for a child, not in a bad way, but just for a child to, y'all grow distance, She said, so you make sure that y'all stay tight or whatever. And Sierra, and they basically was letting Sierra know, look, you got a good one here. And, Rashida gave her some good shit. She was like, Carly was on some bullshit. She said, for real, all this go back to Carly. Carly is on some bullshit. And she done started all of this mess. She said, and Carly is dealing with what she dealing with. She in the room. Because Carly wasn't even coming out the room at that point. And she was like, you and BK, y'all need to work together. And Sierra was like, you right. And I'm going to talk to Carly about it because you right. She should have brought it to me 6 months ago. I said, 6 months? That trip to Cancun was 6 months ago and you putting that nigga on the couch over something that happened Anyway, so, and poor Scrap looked like his feelings were so hurt when Rashida admitted that she cheated on Kirk. I mean, he said, oh my gosh, like that's like finding out that God can't fight. I said, what? God can't fight? What? I mean, but they really did look disappointed. And I can understand it because the one thing I give Kurt credit for, he never threw Rashida under the bus. Whether it was a manufactured affair or it really happened, whatever the situation was, he never threw it out there that Rashida was ever unfaithful to him. So to his credit, nobody knew. Nobody knew that Rashida ever stepped out on Kurt. And then we get to Sierra. Now, Sierra decides she's going to admit to BK that she cheated on him. I said, Sierra, that might not have been the best decision. And that's pretty much where the episode ended. I don't know if that was a good idea, Sierra. Some things you just keep to yourself. That might have been an example of keeping it to yourself. Anyway, let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments, please. This was a good episode. That's 2 weeks in a row. We got some really good stuff. And next week look like it's going to be good, too. Ooh.